over again. Some people say, some of the theologians say that the thorn in the flesh for Paul was an actual physical infirmity. Some people say it was something that was going on in his body. Some people have said that he walked with a limp. Some people have said that he had an eye disease. I've read different kinds of theological things. But one of the things that we get an indication, I think, some theologians say this, and I'm more inclined to interpret the scripture this way, but I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. I'm just laying out the different interpretations. We don't necessarily know what the thorn is, but one thing it seems, one of the ways that we might interpret is when we look at what the verse says. It says, unless I should be exalted above measure, in verse 7, by the abundance of the revelations, a thorn in the flesh was given to me, comma, a messenger of Satan to buffet me, comma, lest I be exalted above measure. So one of the ways that we can think about this is that the thorn in the flesh is this messenger of Satan. And where we see that messenger of Satan potentially showing up is in every city that Paul goes to. He experiences backlash, pushback. He experiences violence. So if we go back to chapter 11, one of the things that we see is Paul enumerates all of the challenges that he is experienced. So let's go back to 11 for a minute. He says, verse 24, 11 and 24. From the Jews 5 times I received 40 stripes minus 1. Bishop Lucky talked about that last week. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I have been in the deep. In journeys often, in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils of mine own countrymen, in perils of the Gentiles, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and toil, in sleeplessness often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings, in cold and nakedness. And then he says, beside all the other things that come upon me daily. So all these challenges, he says, that I have the concern of all these churches and all the different cities where he goes. So one of the things that some theologians say is that this messenger of Satan was almost in every city that he goes to, every region, every area, there is a demonic attack against him everywhere he goes. And I want to just say this, I think that in the modern church, we have gotten away from what the heart of the gospel is, one, and we've gotten away from what will happen often when the gospel is preached. And we will look at certain ministries, and I'm not saying that these ministries are not right. I'm not saying that. But we will get lulled with the deception to believe that when your life is going well and everything is easy, that that when that happens, that you're in the will of God, and that when you're not in the will of God, that things are going bad for you, if that makes sense. But that's not what the case is. All right, now Bishop just sent me a note. He said that he has to stop the feed and he's going to start it again. So I'm going to stop for a second, and then he's going to stop it and restart it.